Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I've got a non-bingo-y rack, but I've also got a good scoring tile in the Z. And I can play zones, getting the Z doubled, 48 points. I can't see a way of scoring anything similar and burning the Y. Well, oh yeses is good. Let me consider this because the Y is non-bingo-y. This is 48. Only one E. Great, that makes the decision easy. Zones for 48. Ooh, not great. F and U don't go well together. And I've got 3 scoring tiles. However, I do have the IFY ending. Let me briefly consider these floaters in case I can see a bingo. No, not seeing one. So, Euchre gets rid of some of the drag. Great, no bingo for opponent. Zones takes an O in front. I've got Euchres in column 8 for a pretty humble score. What else do I have? Well, what about this double letter square? Yeah, what about Euchre here? 27 points. Z's gone, so this is only super hot for the J. And I have an S for the double lane. And this rack leave isn't terrible. Yuft uses FUY, but no T available. Yeah. Am I missing a bingo? Did I consider all floaters? Let me just do that without putting the tiles back. Yeah, not seeing anything better than this. Oh wow, I have Infuser. Of all the words in Scrabble, I had this identical rack as my opening rack in the previous game, and I had strong doubts that it was a word. But it stayed on the board. And look at this, it plays in row F and column 11, and because no 2-letter C words apart from CH, they can't both be blocked. Now, opponents changed, so I've still got row F. Do I have anywhere else? I do, because of TI. And this is going to get doubled and not stick an I in column 1, so this is a superior spot. Infuser for 72. Oh wow, what a pick. I draw an S for sticking on the end of Infuser, and I could have a bingo here. I would have Wu Raleighs through an O or an A. Oh, all these floaters. And opponent plays an O, but nothing for Wu Raleighs. Wu Raleighs is a W on the front of Urales, and I very painfully missed Urales in the BMSC tournament I was recently at. So, do I have any bingo here? Well, just wondering about up swirl. Am I confusing that with up whirls? Well, it's free challenge. Let's see if up swirl stays on. No, it doesn't. That's a shame. It would have been 100 points. Let me more methodically consider this. So this is Wu Raleighs through an O. Definitely doesn't play anywhere. It's the WU combo, which is particularly killing in terms of bingoiness. There are floating E's. So I mustn't give up hope. Whirlies is good. Whirlies! Oh my word, here we go. Whirlies for 88. Bang! Unbelievable. Fantastic. 88 points for a WU bingo. So I've now got a 150-point lead. And I haven't drawn too terribly. These are 7 random tiles. They could have been worse. It's a good mix of vowels and consonants. And although I don't have a bingo, I've got good scoring tiles in the F and the K to keep the scoring going. So, what can I score with this? Oh, look at this. I have got freak for 52 points. It takes an S and a Y. There's still an S to come. And there may still be a Y to come. But look at this rack lead. This is really good. Column 12 is a really nice 7-letter lane. Yeah, and I can't make this any less dangerous. But I did see it fairly quickly, so let me consider in case there could be something better. Far is good, but I can't see anything which stretches to the double word square. I'm going with this. Oh, my first really bad draw. 6 vowels. And I don't have any 3-vowel words on my rack to slip under freak. Hopefully, if opponent doesn't have an S, blank or Y, they'll take that out. And this may be worth changing. I've got TV, T-E-E-V-E-E, leaving AI, but for a lowly score and opening column 1, so that's not worth doing. It probably is worth taking out this danger with a play of eat or tie. But the score will be pretty wretched. I've got the I for QI. But the best I can do there is just AI. Now, opponent taking a while. Are they about to hammer a bingo down? They're not, but this is good because they've basically taken out the danger from freak or massively reduced it. They've taken out the bingo danger. There's still a 4-letter danger. The X could go there. A play like exist, for example, for a bingo-y score. Yeah, let me see what this scores. Lots of eyes to come. 17 points. I think this is worth doing. There are a lot of floating consonants on the board, so I should be able to tidy this rack up or improve the rack a lot next turn. Really don't like keeping 4 vowels, but they are the bingo-y vowels. I'm going with this. Okay, I'm back to 6 vowels. Maybe it means opponents suffering a vowel drought or drowning in O's. I have a G on my rack, which does play in row F, which will be better than changing. What else do I have? Yeah, about 19 points. And that is improving the rack. It's keeping 3 vowels rather than 4 as on the previous turn. So pleased with whirlies. When you have W and U, you sort of go through the motions as you're squizzing. And it's easy to talk yourself into there being no bingo, even before you finish the exercise, but there it was. And what a splendid place to play it, row O, triple word square. Now, all I've seen is a G in row F. That could be taken. I do have a G in column 14, which has some merit, but it's retaining 4 vowels rather than 3, which is a significant negative. Not seeing anything through the S, which gets the J doubled. And the word doubled, I do have G's, but again, that's retaining 4 vowels. Opponent is taking a while with their plays. I fear they may be, or feel rather, that they may be close to a bingo, and there's lots of bingo-y floaters in tinned, and nothing I can do about it with this rack. Oh, I thought I had Eve jar for a moment, but I would need an R for that. I have Jean, but that's pretty wretched score. Now, opponent's played HAE, leaving alone my AG spot. So add G4, 19. Great, I draw 3 consonants. Are they enough to give me a bingo? I don't think B imaged is good. I'm not even going to check that. I've got the tiles for an ing word. Interesting, I could turn over tiles with beaming, taking out 3 bingo-y floaters and expediting the end of the game and increasing my chances of drawing the S and the blank, or the blank. Floating V doesn't give me anything. What about the D? Well, nothing goes in front of... Well, G goes in front of NU, so what about D? I've already considered that. Could there be a bingo through this N? Now, opponents played higher, so this is what I'm thinking of. Beaming, it's 30 points, that's pretty decent. B, not a useful bingo floater, the E is. But look at this lead, 150 points, and that's before these 30 points, so I'm about 180 ahead. I am 2 bingos ahead of opponent. I think this move has a lot of merit. I'm going with it. Great, I draw the S, which was one of the goals in turning over tiles. Wow, all these O's, and I'm suffering a vowel drought. And opponent has not been playing off O's either. Let me count the remaining vowels. 16, but only 3 of them are the bingo-y A and E. So this is the penultimate E on my rack. 16 out of 32. Okay, it is a balanced bag. Yeah, and I've got the Y, which is a quasi-vowel, so I think I'll try and hang on to this E. Its value increases with the short or lack of other E's. So I'll be looking to use the Y, and I've got B, P, and Y. So from a U, I would have up by. Opponent's blocked that. Great, opponent takes out all these bingo lanes. Fantastic. So what am I going to do? I could play buy and shy. Let me see what that scores. 16 points. Nice rack leave. Goes okay with an O. 13 minutes on my clock. What about using this E? Well, I've got nothing to go after the G. And I don't want to burn my E. So I've got jibed here, burning the E for 24 points. Sorting the rack out. Now opponent played off the last E, so if I play this E, it really will be the last E. But there are still 12 vowels. This rack does go well with O. This rack could handle 2 O's. 24 points. Well, what about playing Pry? 23 points and preserving the E and a scoring tile in the B. Yeah, I'm liking this. Anything through the E doesn't get doubled. Neb is good, and Nep. So this is 23. 25, wow, same tiles. It would be nice to play the B rather than the P, but I don't think I can do that without burning the E. Okay, I think this is the best I've seen. I'm going with this. Okay, well, I'm glad I kept the E. I draw 1 vowel in the I. This isn't a terrible rack. I could play Wemb, W-E-M-B, and I can't hang on to the E forever. The purpose of hanging on to it is to extract value from it where I can, and Wemb certainly would achieve that, and I'd be retaining a vowel in the I. My opponent's done a great job with all, taking out this dangerous E. There really is just the E of zigged and the D in column 15. But the remaining pool with no E's or S's, pretty non-bingo-y. My opponent could have a jolly unbalanced rack, and they're going to struggle to play a bingo ending ED. Without any E's, they would have to burn the blank. Great. Oh, great. Opponent has sweetened the Wemb pot. 41 points. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in dwelling on this. Great, a nice balanced track with no duplicates and loads of potential for duplicates with the I's, O's and T's. Now, I'm not looking for a bingo in the sense that I absolutely don't need one to win. And the only remaining bingo floater is the D, and I don't have a bingo there. Opponent plays Poa. Aped is good, so opponent has not opened a bingo lane, but there is a scoring spot bottom left, which I will turn to shortly. I don't have a bingo through the D. What about OB? No. What about RE? This could end RED. So an anagram of over dials. No, not seeing anything there. So A and O can go in front of P. A lot of things can go in front of V, but what about in front of AB? Sab, Lab, and Dab. So, what does fit here? Lom is not good. Okay, well, I have something in lads. 46 points. This is a great scoring spot. But is there anything better? So, Lavs. 54 points and burning the V. Love's not good. Dov's not good. Divs is good, but Iped isn't. 9 minutes on my clock. And look at this, I'm keeping vowels, which is good in the end game. I'm going with Lavs. Okay, well, my rack does turn to rubbish in the pre-end game, but look at this lead, 220 points. Opponent may have a bingo, but it's going to be a consolation bingo. And they've not played it yet. Okay, well, 3 tiles left. I can play outdid. I'm probably going to draw a T. Yeah, I think the normal arguments for not emptying the bag don't apply here, because the reason for not emptying the bag is if opponent bingos, then I get another turn. And also it's to stop opponent planning an out in 2, and of course if I empty the bag, that argument still applies. But look at this rack, it's pretty horrible. Yeah, this provides nothing for opponents. And it stops opponent playing, say, something like CID, setting up their blank to be an A. I'm going with this. Great, that's a kind pick. It's possible I have an out. I certainly have the win. So I have Droit on my rack as a 5. I don't think that plays anywhere. Nothing goes in front of our G. Now, do I have anything ending in E? An anagram of editor. What about triode? I think that's good. It's either triode or tyrod. Certainly one of the anagrams of editor was annoyingly removed. I think triode is good. But do I have a second? What about SH? Nope, not seeing anything there. HAE takes a T in front, so what about this U? Okay, opponent blocks that, so let's see if triode stays on for 9. And it does. Fantastic. And the final score, 497 to me, 281 for opponent, a winning margin of 216 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Amazing stuff. Could I have gotten over 500 at the death? So it was me to go first, and I play zones. Here's a yes. Keeping both S's, 16 fewer points. Zones definitely better. Horrible rack for opponent. Plays zigged. Now, what do? I was in a hurry to burn the U. 27 points. Only 2 more points on offer. Retaining the U, so yeah. Fusi keeping the Y. I think IFS is the best rack leave of these top 5. So I like my play. Plus the F can go on top of the A, and I have the S for pluralizing euchre. Opponent plays cat. Oh, wow. I was in a hurry to play Infuser, but look at this. Gunfires double for 98. Wow. Just shows however much you think you've played well or you're pleased with your play, how important analysis is and how readily it shows how you could have played even better. But gunfires, yep, that would have been beautiful. So I play Infuser, and opponent could have massively punished me with a row O bingo. But that's not how the Scrabble world turns, and it's me who benefits from that suboptimal play, because I have whirlies, and it's the only bingo in town. Fantastic, 88 points. Now, opponent with a tricky rack. They've gotten rid of the junk in the Q and the V. They've got all bingo-y tiles, but no bingo. So I think we've all been there. Opponent plays Anna. And I have the tiles for freak. So my lead just keeps increasing, and look at this. Opponent just doesn't have the ammo to respond. Well, oh, interesting. Front extensions of zones. That's something I didn't consider. Opponent has end zones, misses it, plays tinned. And there's going to be other front extensions. There's cal zones, tri zones. Wow. Okay, well, there may be more misses ahead. Now, this is my rack. Thought about changing. Decided to take out the hotness in the bottom right, which is the O13 plays. I played tie, keeping A triple E. Aney. Yeah, this has some merits in that the rack lever is a lot better than tie. But of course, the reason for playing tie was to take out the freaky danger. So I like my play. Opponent plays Hey, M7, G and Jar, 37. Ouch. Rack lever not terrible given how few A's and E's there are to come. So I play a G for 19. And the G for 27 keeps one more vowel. So this is my play, the F4 play. Definitely the best rack leave here. But does keeping an extra A, is that worth taking an 18-point sacrifice? I don't think so. So, but it's going to be quite a lot. A-double-E isn't a terrible rack leave at all, but it is all vowels, so it's probably A is positive or close to positive. This second E, I think, drags it back, so this could be -5. But double A, double E, wow, definitely worse than -10. Could be -15. -5, -15. There could be a 10-point gap, but there's an 18-point gap in score, so I think G would have been better. Now, opponent's rack. They play higher. And I have beaming for 30, which looks fine. A poor opponent, they had all bingo-y tiles, but no bingos. So they play all. Now, all of these plays down to braid. Burn the E, which I was keen to keep. However, A14, well, the score's pretty fabulous, pre-D, and P in penultimate place, not very dangerous for a triple-triple, so I think you could argue that pre-D is the play, plus it takes out column 15 bingos, which are highly likely. Column 15 is one of only 2 lanes, so I think pre-D would have been the play. I play pry. Opponent plays ox. And now I have, well, I play wemb for 41. B14. Interesting, I could have played wembs there. Yes, not particularly useful on this board. And I would have been taking out column 15. So again, I think there was a better play on offer. Opponent plays power. Now, labs. I think that was my play. Yes, fantastic. And opponent finally has drawn the blank. But do they have a bingo? Missed bingo. Toluidin and Tolidine and Tolidins. Wow, none of which would have been playable if I'd played wembs. Now, here we go. 3 tiles left. And I play outdid for 9. Which gives me a shot of going out in 1, which none of these other plays do. Plus I'm denying opponent column 14, so it looks like a score sacrifice, but I think there are arguments still in favour of this play. H3, oh-ho, just sticking an O between zones and ho. Yeah, it's a nice score. But opponent is almost certainly, if I play that, going out in 2. Whereas without did, opponent only gets to play once. Oh my word, eco-zones. Wow. I wonder how many other zones words there are. Interesting, but eco-zones for 60. I missed 4 extensions to my knowledge at the BMSC, so I need to be more alive to them. I missed anti in front of key to make antique. I missed eerie onto flan to make flannery. I missed ove onto turtled to make turtle dove. And I missed IER onto sniffed to make sniftier. There, I've purged the negative emotions associated with those misses. So, opponent plays cot. And finally, triode is the only out. So, what a fantastic game. Absolutely delightful stuff. It's been an amazing week. 5 bingos in the first game. And, well, a 200-point victory in this one. So, absolutely fabulous stuff. Many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.